name's Antoine, and I'm the Executive Director of Faith in New Jersey, a statewide faith-based organization standing with families around New Jersey, organizing faith leaders in love and action. We're excited today that all of you are able to join this day, but at the same time we are reflective of this moment that we're in our society where families are being detained and separated on the borders, that we have a lot of our family members and community members and members of our congregation who are anxious and who are fearful as a result of some of the policies that are demonizing and dehumanizing them. And as we know, right here in New Jersey, we have 22,000 DACA recipients who run the risk of losing that status and potentially being detained and deported as well. And today we are thankful for the Westfield 6 who put their bodies on the line, who stood for their values and their faith traditions, which teaches us to stand up when those of us and those that are members of our community are targeted and who are faced with detention and deportation. I will be calling up a few leaders to speak today, and what we just want to continue reminding everyone that we're all here as a result of standing and fighting for justice, and we believe that it is our moral obligation to stand with those who are vulnerable or marginalized and those whose voices have been taken away. At this time, I would like to invite Rabbi Elliot Tepperman to be able to share a few words.
So I feel privileged to be here today. My grandfather came to this country as an unaccompanied minor in 1912. And as a rabbi and as a Jew, I know the story of being denied entry at the border. And I know the story of being persecuted as an unwelcome minority in another country. I'm here today to bear witness that it is time for humanity to rise up and understand that safety cannot be determined by where we are born, by which side of the border, of a man-made, human-made border we are born on. That cannot determine our safety. The Torah says, love the stranger, but you know what? Had the Torah never been given, we would know that it is wrong to kick somebody out of this country who has grown up here their whole life. Had the Torah never been given, we would know that it is wrong to take a child away from their mother or their father when they are fleeing danger and they come to this country seeking sanctuary.
Yes.
It is time for this country to stand for love.
Yes.
It is time for us to embrace those who come here seeking safety and freedom, regardless of where they started out. We have no special privileges because we were born here. We have the obligation and the moral responsibility to extend freedom and safety to everyone who seeks it.
Next, we would like Dr. Kristen Peck to share a few words.
I am here for Jorge Chahon. I know Jorge Chahon. I know his family. I know his wife. I know his 2 young children. Jorge Chahon is currently in detention. He is a DACA recipient. He has a wife who is a citizen and a 2-year-old daughter, Rachel, who loves him. He has a 5-month-old son who he's only been able to see inside the walls of a detention center. But every day his wife goes with her 2 children to visit him inside the walls of a detention center. Jorge Chahon has his final immigration hearing next week, the 26th. My heart is breaking at the fear that Jorge Chacon could be deported to Guatemala, one of the most dangerous countries in the world, a country with very little economic opportunity. When he came to the United States as a 13-year-old child, Jorge Chacon deserves to stay in this country where he's made a life, where he's loved his children, where he's loved his wife, where he's provided for them and adored them. He is a good human being. This demonization of immigrants as something wicked, evil, horrible, lawbreakers, he's caught in that vice grip. Yes, he broke man-made laws, but he has a right to be here. It's a moral right. It's a moral responsibility. And I am here because I want this country to live up to its values, and I want us as human beings to live up to the love and responsibility we have for each other and keep Jorge Chacon here.
Next, we will hear from Ms. Adriana Perez, who will share her story.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. First of all, I'm here because for my family, my friends, and for people like yourselves, for all your support that you have given us. I'm here to thank you so much for what all of you have been doing. This really means a lot to us. I came here to this country when I was 6 years old, and ever since then, this is the only place I've known as home, as my home, and I really love this country. So that's why one of the reasons I want to give back to the community and let them know that it is not fair that we keep having families being separated. It's not fair that to live in fear. We shouldn't be doing that, because we're here in this world to be happy, to love each other. And this is not a way that we're showing that we love and care each other as human beings. This is not what it's all about. It's being here, it's about family. It's about spending time with them, not just being here just because, oh, we have to do this. It's like a moral issue, like they said. It's something that we have to do things right. And with a little grain of sand from everybody, we could do this possible. We could make some changes. And my sister's over here, so she came here with me too, to just support also media when the organization Make the Road. And really thank you for supporting it, and really come apart. Thank you. And it's not fair that those bills, they keep coming up. For example, one of Paul Ryan's bills that they're using the money for the border wall. It's not fair. And I just think that if everybody comes together in unity like we're doing right now, we can make those changes possible. Thank you.
Gracias, Adriana. Next, we will have Minister John Rogers, who will share some words.
We're all here today because we're facing a spiritual blackout in this country. And we've gathered here to try to turn the lights on. Yes. We've seen how the forces can make us callous, can make us fearful. But when we come together and when we have faith that there is a higher law and that there are people that can uphold human dignity, then those forces do not have the final say. There have been many who have gone before us, and our action is very, very small. But it is an action that we hope inspire many to see that these are the times when we need to stand up, when we need to have faith, and when we need to love and to look at our neighbor and see God residing there. We are grateful for this opportunity, and we will be grateful to come back to the next court hearing so we can say this message again, because we won't stop. We won't stop as long as injustice is being perpetuated at the border. We won't stop as long as people are being persecuted. And we won't stop until every single human being is seen as truly a child of God. Thank you.
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
When do we want it?
Now!
When do we want it?
Now!
Si se puede!
Si se puede!
We thank Nadia for those chants. Next we will have Rabbi Faith Joy Danzowith, who will share a few words.
We've been hearing a lot about the Bible lately. People have been quoting the Bible selectively. But we need to be sure that we know what the Bible does not say. The Bible does not say to ignore the stranger. The Bible does not say to persecute children and rip them apart from their families.
Come on.
The Bible does not say to harden one's heart.
Yes.
We know better. We know that the Bible teaches us v'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, love your neighbor
Yes.
as yourself. And I'm proud to speak out today with my moral convictions. I'm privileged to be able to put my body on the line to engage in this act that we engaged in a few months ago of moral obedience, otherwise known as civil disobedience.
That's right.
And I think back to what the Torah teaches us in Exodus about that act of moral obedience, of civil disobedience by two amazing women, Shifra and Puah. They said when Pharaoh decreed that they should rip male babies away from their mothers, the first act of family separation, they said, no, we won't do that.
That's right.
They knew that God's law was much more important than Pharaoh's law. They defied his evil decree. We need to stand up today and every day to defy the evil decrees that are out there. We need to stand up for justice. We need to promote love, and justice, and that's what we're going to continue to do. Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi. Next we will have, and lastly we will have Reverend Ann Rolowski share a few words.
I don't know how to improve on what has been said, to say one more word of passion and conviction that my colleagues and the dreamers here today have shared, except for to say that those of us who are in positions where our voices seem to get heard above those who are afraid to speak out, we have the moral imperative to be able to speak truth to power with love, because it is all about creating a country founded on the love of our brothers and sisters. You know, it's not just because we are clergy. This is a role that is open to every one of us, and especially to those who accept the privilege of being our civil servants. You know, what they are called to do is to look at the individuals that are within their care, to welcome those into the American dream who wish to be with us. And so we will not remain silent. We will not step away. We will come back to this court again and again as long as it takes to be able to stand in the face of injustice and say that we will not accept this as people of faith. We will not accept this as Americans. We will not accept this as human beings. And so we thank you for the support of everyone who's been walking with us along the way. We ask you in your own lives to be witness to truth and love and justice in whatever small way that you can. Mother Teresa says, you know, not all of us can do great things, but every one of us can do small things with great love. And those grains of sand on the beach that were spoken about earlier, those can become a mighty mountain if we are willing to stand together with strength, love, and dignity. And so we thank everyone who has been behind us, and we ask you to remain behind us, even as this continues forward. Thank you all so much.
Yes.
Thank you. We want to invite Sarah Kulane up just to kind of give us a perspective.
Thank you, Archangel, and thank you so much to the brave faith and immigrant rights leaders here who joined us today and who have been consistently fighting for a Clean Dream Act. Today we are here to send a strong message to Representative Leonard Lance. We held a sit-in back in February. We were on hunger strike in November. We're here to say we are going to keep fighting until we win a Clean Dream Act. And we want to underscore, this week Congress is debating two bills that they are cynically and shamefully calling a Dream Act, or some type of relief for DACA recipients. These bills could not be anything further from a Dream Act. They are designed to separate families, to build a heinous border wall. It will cost our country billions of dollars and further separate families. And they'll end lawful immigration as it's historically known in the country. We will not stand silent as Republicans in Congress, including Congressman Lance, attempt to hold dreamers hostage, to pass an agenda of white supremacy, an agenda that will build a border wall, and an agenda that will continue to separate families at the border. So thank you all so much for standing with us today. And today is yet another day in our fight, and we'll be here. We'll continue to fight. We'll be bringing our rally to the Westfield office of Representative Lance tomorrow afternoon, and we invite you all to join us. Thank you.
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
We thank everybody for joining us today. We thank all the faith leaders and community organizers. We thank everybody for Make the Road and Faith in New Jersey. And we just encourage you, like Sarah said, to not give up the fight and keep on pushing for those who need us the most.